What's up, guys? Texans fan and rehab here. Hey, we're coming back for another week of the weekly recap here of all things Houston Texans. And so, first and foremost, I just want to jump right into this, and I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that has subscribed. We hit 100 last week. I can't tell you how important that has been for me as a first benchmark for me to accomplish, goal for me to get over that first threshold. And hey, man, looking forward to many, many more. So, big shout out to everybody that subscribed. A huge thank you again, man. I appreciate the love and support. And listen, if you like the content, obviously people have started to like the content, so maybe I'm doing something right, man. Give me a like, give me a share. Hey, man, give me a follow, man. I appreciate it. Look, let's just get into it, man. I don't even want to belabor that point, man. Gonna start with the question of the week, and this one we're kind of on the negative side, so pardon me, but it is what it is. We're Houston Texans fans, so we got to deal with the good and the bad, right? And so the question of the week this week is, who is the worst free agent signing in Texans franchise history? And so, listen, I'm going to jump right into this. It's a number of ways that I could have gone with this. Could have obviously gone Brock Osweiler. He played 1 year here, wasn't great for us, and we got him out of here after 1 year. Could have gone even as far back as like a Matt Stevenson. Matt Stevens, guy who was coming off a Super Bowl championship, I think back in 2001 with the Patriots. Came here as the team was kind of getting constructed. Supposed to be free safety, didn't really do much of anything with us. We cut him, and then we turned around. We had to re-sign him because we couldn't get anybody else to come over here and join the squad. So I could have gone a number of different directions, especially over the history and the tenure of the team. But I'm going to go with the one that probably sticks the most in my craw, man, Ed Reed. Ed Reed was a pickup that basically RIP Bob McNair, but Bob McNair signed off on and escorted him into the building himself. This was a deal that I think they signed him for like 3 or 4 years. A lot of money involved or whatever. He was on the back end of his career, like barely just hanging on or whatever. Man, this dude didn't even finish the season with us, man. So it was one of those things where we brought him in, I guess, for the championship pedigree, for the legend that he was, and maybe he can instill some some things with the team. He definitely brought in some older cats. I think he brought in Dion to a camp or whatever to talk to some of the guys and kind of impart some wisdom upon them or whatever, get them all sparked up and whatever. And so it looked like it was going to be a good thing until it wasn't. He didn't mesh with the head coach. He didn't mesh with the defensive squad. Just one of those things, man. So we got him up out of here before the season was even over with, man. So that's one of those random situations that the Texans seem to have a lot of stories in their background about, man. And hopefully we don't have too many of those in the future as we build and continue forward with the team, man. But Ed Reed, definitely for me, number one worst free agent pickup of all time in the team. But give me your comment, man. Tell me who's your free agent trash, the free agent that we wasted our time with the most over the history of the team. Put that down in the comment section, man. I'd love to see if somebody got something better than Ed Reed and chop it up with you guys, man. But let's go on and get into the recap of the week, man. So aside from the subs, which is a huge deal for me, we had week 2 of OTAs. This was kind of a rerun of week 1, if you will. Of course, they're doing more installs and everything, but let me first say this real quick. Huge shout out to the Houston Texans media, man, the social media page and all the content they're providing, man. They're putting things out, not necessarily on a regular basis or a scheduled basis, let me say it that way. But they are dropping dimes, man. And for the content creators like myself, this has kind of been really key for us to be able to kind of keep you guys loaded with content and video, because videos have really been scarce. We're not getting a lot of content out there as far as people that are allowed to take and shoot video for the media outside of these little small windows of time where they can shoot. And the reason why is because a lot of the stuff is being recorded by the teams. The stuff that they're going through in practice and the stuff that they're putting out on film, they don't want that to get exposed to the rest of the league. You got a lot of guys over the years, been video recording stuff. Patriots, Sean McVay. You got these guys that have been recording stuff and been putting it out there and getting in trouble about it. So, I'm sure the Texans want to keep everything close to the vest, and that's fine with us, man. But you know, we're definitely hungry at this point of the year, so we can try to see how things are working, how the Texans, how the rookies blending with the old schoolers, how are the vets taking to the rookies, how are the schemes lining up, what's the formations that they're going to be running, just simple things, man. Even if CJ Stroud is taking all the first team snaps, I mean, these are all things that are integral for what we're trying to get information about from our team, man. So, huge shout out to the Houston Texans, man, for putting things together for us, man, and releasing it in a way that we can kind of digest it and break it down and put it out on Twitter and everything else, man. So once again, huge shout out to the Houston Texans social media team, man, for that. But getting into the week and how everything was breaking down, it's a lot of smaller details and nuances that were going on. Not a whole lot of huge talking points. Of course, this is just, again, more of a dress rehearsal than anything. So you had, a lot of interviews that went on between the defensive coordinator, coach, and all of these things that came out. Whole lot of fluff, not a whole lot of hard hitting questions and stuff that was asked, not a whole lot of details that came out. Of course, one of the things that I gleaned from is that they're going to be running the 3-4 defense. The 4-3 defense, four base linemen running with 3 linebackers or whatever. So it's kind of form and tradition that we've seen before here. Nothing really big as far as that's concerned. I'm trying to think of some other talking points that they had that went down. Can't really think of anything that would just stand out for me, man. I mean, it was just pretty much status quo. You got a lot of good clips. I'll have something posted here for that. You got a lot of hype videos. A lot of content was good for hype videos of what we had going on out there on the internet. But again, you're seeing a lot of passes, plays, drills. Nothing really, outstanding for what's going on with that. Now, I do want to get into some other things. The biggest headline of the week this week was actually DeAndre Hopkins, which came up again. So, did a video for asking basically, if you think that the Houston Texans entertain bringing back Nuke, and got some good responses there, man. But hey, after a week's time, here we are again, man, addressing the question again. Apparently, Nuke was on Instagram and he posted a picture where he was passing by the stadium, and so that kind of got the hype machine going. Apparently, there's a guy named, I think, Roosh Williams, and then Brooks Cabina, who backed him up, and basically they said that DeAndre had some interest in rejoining the team. And to be honest with you, of course he would. I mean, guy in his position, man, he's looking for a salary, he's looking for a contract. Of course, his contract that he's probably looking towards is probably going to be something similar to what Odell Beckham got out there in Baltimore, where Odell had been out for basically a season and came back and got, I think, a $15 million contract. So it would be nice for him to have something like that. But here in H-Town, he's got familiarity. I mean, he's still got a home here. I'm sure his family's still here, whatnot. Obviously, he's got a Rolls Royce, an orange Rolls Royce that's still here that he's toting around. I think that the likelihood of the Texans getting him is still very high, to be honest with you. But he would have to do it on a team-friendly type of deal. And of course, he's on the back end of his career, man. Who knows how long that contract might be? I don't know if that's something that he wants to entertain. He's already stated before that he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. So I don't know what his intentions are with that is concerned. But then obviously there's going to be limited teams at this point. There's going to be limited teams that's going to entertain if he is pursuing a $15 million contract, because they're cap strapped. The Browns have jumped in late to try to see if, I was almost getting ready to call him Messiah something, but Deshaun Watson was basically trying to recruit him. A lot of guys around the league have been trying to recruit him. Buffalo Bills have been trying to recruit him, a lot of players from those teams or whatever. But you don't hear any GMs talking about bringing in D-Hop. Again, in that previous video that I had up, I think that they had talked about the Patriots entertaining him and a number of other teams. I think the Dallas Cowboys have said that they're out on him. A number of teams have said that they're out on him. But, what I think is the play for D-Hop is basically that he wait till closer to training camp and then pick, who's available then. The Texans do have salary cap that they could introduce him and bring him back to the squad. However, do you want to mess up team chemistry? And at this part of the season right now, you got a lot of young guns that's in there, and D-Hop doesn't really need OTAs. He's got this part of the game down pat, other than working with CJ Stroud and trying to get some meshing together with that. But he is what he is, man. He's a phenomenal Hall of Fame level wide receiver who's going to catch anything thrown to him. Going to tap them toes, get in bounds, and keep the chains moving. We already know what D Hop is, man. So to give some of these younger cats an opportunity to maybe step their game up, build a cohesive bond with the team, get some unity going on there. This might be a great opportunity for that to happen. So I can only see D Hop joining the team closer to training camp. Hopefully it's the Texans. I don't know. I'm not very optimistic, but I will say this. You got to be cautious when you're working with a guy that's at the end of his career because the fans are definitely going to be in love with you. But if I was D Hop, I'd be cautious about that because the fans can also turn on you. If you get to where you're costing the team money and removing them from the opportunity to sign, say, another player down the line of need, or costing us draft picks or something like that in return, the equity on that transaction may not work in his favor. And as you see with a lot of players that, you've seen it with, even with like Olajuwon here, where over time their game diminishes. And when the game diminishes, they get sent off to pasture. I mean, even happened to Andre Johnson, man. So I would hate to see that happen to D Hop just the same way. Of course, the pasture would be nice if the pasture was here, but you don't want to see his game diminish, and you don't want to see it take away from opportunity for another player to get his shine on. So, I wish D Hop well, and I hope that he does make an opportunity to come back here. But am I really, really optimistic? 50-50. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll come back to that. I'm sure we'll have to address that again later at some point in the year. Let's see. Around the league, let's deal with this one situation, man. So our guy JJ Watt, man, he did a video, and I hate to do this to you, JJ, because man, I love you, but I posted a video last week about Will Levis, and basically as fans we are kind of, again, we're reaching for stuff to grab hold to so that we can kind of put our content or whatever. And as fans, of rival team or whatever, we're gonna pick at the other team, man. JJ did a video where he was basically saying, hey guys, can we all just get along?
Rookie has rough practice in his first week of OTAs. Yeah, that's called being a rookie. It's called first week of OTAs. I had rough practices every single year of my 12 years. I've had rough games. I've had multiple rough games. Like, shit's hard. It's the National Football League. Like, this is part of the reason why it's tough for guys to develop, because we're judging everybody on every single individual rep every single day. We're posting videos online of practice reps and guys working on their craft and guys trying to do new things. It's one of the reasons that guys are scared to try a new pass rush move in one-on-ones in practice, which is when you should be working on your pass rush moves, because they're scared that somebody's going to film it and put it online, and because they got blocked, now they look like an idiot. Like, let guys develop. Let guys grow. I understand this is a business. We're paid millions of dollars, and you expect greatness right out of the gate out of every single guy, and you're going to say, suck it up and deal with it. But let's let guys develop. Let's let guys get some practices under their belt. Let's let guys get into the league, and let's let them grow as a player. Let's let them get some NFL coaching. We don't need to be shitting all over guys on their first week of practice in the National Football League. Just let them grow.
I mean, can't you let this guy just grow up? Can't you just, hey man, listen, these guys get paid the big bucks. They're on the pro stage. They are, taking on this mantle of approach and getting this public attention. They're famous. This is what comes with it, man. I mean, we're not trying to be brutal or, attack anything personally or anything like that. But if we see Will Levis go through a drill and overshoot the net and even overshoot the guy that was behind the net to retrieve the balls, if we see this, I mean, that's fair game, man. I mean, listen, you got to understand, we are fans first, and we're fans of the Texans. So even though you are a Texan and, God bless you, we love you, but, we're going to still attack and chomp on the bit every opportunity we get, man, because these opportunities are scarce, especially around here. They've been scarce. So we're going to jump on top of it, man. So, JJ, listen, I know you probably are entertaining jumping in the media or doing a podcast or something like that. That's not the approach you want to take, my man. That's not the approach you want to take. And I get it, as a player, just practice. These guys are supposed to be able to have an opportunity to learn from their mistakes and build and all of that stuff. But hell, they can do that anyway, and it's not going to cost us anything. I mean, do it. Make all your mistakes on the practice field. We still gonna love you, or we still gonna hate you. It's not gonna change. So you're not gonna impress us. Will Levis is not even here for us to impress. But you're not gonna change our mindset on it. If we got the mindset that you're gonna, be on the opposing team and we don't like you, we just don't like you. If we got the mindset that we love you, and JJ we do, then we love you. And it's not going to change until you do something to make that change. What you do on the practice field does not concern us at all. We don't care. It's just something for us to talk about because there's nothing else to talk about, literally. And so until he does something on the field in game action or whatever, hey, it is what it is. So I wish Will Levis to lose. I got him on one of my fantasy teams, so I do wish him well to some success, but just not against the Texans and definitely not in division. So it is what it is. Sorry, JJ. But listen, man, that's all I got for you guys this week, man. Next week, man, what we have looking forward to is another week of OTAs. Hopefully some good news will be happening throughout the week. If there's any breaking news about DeAndre Hopkins, I'll be on top of that. I'll shoot a video and post that out. Great interviews that should be coming up this week. Who knows? But anything that happens, I'll be on top of it, man. You'll be seeing from me real quick and real soon. Again, like, follow, subscribe, man. I appreciate you guys. Texans Fan of Rehab. I'm out.